Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another talk session with Cece and Maya. My next topic is how to improve focus and concentration.
Nice. Focus and concentration are skills, not just innate traits. What part of it feels like the biggest challenge for you? Staying focused in general, dealing with distractions, or something else?
What does focus mean in simple terms?
In simple terms, focus is just the ability to direct your attention to one thing and ignore distractions. It's not about doing a ton of things at once, it's about choosing one thing and giving it your full presence until you've moved on to something else. The opposite of focus is scattering your brain across a bunch of tasks without really tackling any of them head on. Does that make sense?
Why is concentration important for productivity?
Concentration is like the engine that drives productivity. Without it, all your to do lists and strategies are way less effective. When you concentrate well, you process information faster, make fewer mistakes, and generally get more done in less time. Plus, being focused reduces mental fatigue. You don't burn yourself out trying to juggle a million things poorly. Think of it like this: 1 hour of true focused work beats 4 hours of distracted effort every time. Would you say that resonates with you?
My next
Ah,
question is what are the common causes of poor focus?
mm-hmm. Good question. There's a bunch of stuff that can kill your focus. For starters, distractions are huge. Phones, notifications, noisy environments, but goes deeper than that. Stress, anxiety, and lack of sleep wreck your attention span. Sometimes it's about what you're trying to focus on, boring tasks, overwhelming projects. Those can drain your motivation really fast. And honestly, sometimes it's physical. Things like dehydration, poor diet, or even just being tired. From your experience, what feels like the biggest drain on your concentration?
How does distraction affect the brain?
Okay, so here's the tricky part. Distraction isn't just annoying, it actively rewires your brain over time. When you get constantly interrupted, your brain gets good at switching attention, but bad at sustaining it. It's like doing mental push ups for fragmentation, not focus. Think of it like this: every time you switch tasks, there's a cognitive cost, like your brain's clearing out short term memory and then reloading for the new task. Those switches actually shrink the prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of attention, planning, and concentration. So, constant distraction can literally make it harder to focus over time. Does that make sense?
My next question is how does multitasking impact concentration?
Multitasking is basically a myth. What people think of as multitasking is actually rapid task switching, like jumping between tasks instead of doing them simultaneously. Each switch costs you time and energy. Even worse, it leads to divided attention. You're not fully engaged with any one thing. That reduces performance, creativity, and overall efficiency. Turns out it can even reduce your IQ temporarily, which is kind of scary. Better to focus intensely on one thing before moving to the next rather than doing multiple things poorly at once. Still there?
My next question is how does multitasking impact concentration?
Ah, you asked that one already. We just covered that. Basically, multitasking isn't real multitasking. It's
Next question is what habits reduce focus the most?
good question. a few big culprits. Constant phone checking is massive, obviously. Social media doom scrolling, too. That dopamine rush from notifications makes it addictive, but destroys focus. And I know you're working on streaming this, but chronic multitasking messes with your brain long term. Also, constant availability, never disconnecting, checking email 24/7, or never putting a do not disturb mode on. Sometimes it's less obvious things like cluttered workspaces, too much background noise, or even caffeine dependence. What about you? Which of those feels most relevant for you?
My next question is, how can
Yeah,
environment influence concentration?
massively. Your physical space makes a huge difference. Clutter equals mental clutter for most people. Noise is a big one. Ideally, you want quiet, but sometimes white noise or ambient music works too. Lighting matters. Too dim can make you sleepy, too bright can be harsh. But beyond physical stuff, even something like temperature or air quality can influence focus. Ideally, you want a space that feels calming and deliberately set up to support concentration, not distract from it. Have you
What is the
experimented?
link between stress and concentration?
Um, Stress and concentration have this weird dance where they feed off each other. Chronic stress causes cortisol levels to rise, which basically shorts out your prefrontal cortex. That's your focus center. When you're stressed, your brain gets stuck in fight or flight mode, so it's hyper focused on perceived threats instead of what you're trying to work on. Conversely, when you can't focus, that can actually create more stress because you're getting less done, which feeds that anxiety spiral. It becomes a vicious cycle. Stress kills focus, focus kills stress, and stress kills focus all over again.
How does sleep affect focus and attention?
Big time. Sleep deprivation wreaks havoc on your brain, and attention is one of the first things to go. When you don't get enough sleep, your brain slows down, you get more irritable, and you're basically more easily distracted. Your short term memory gets worse, which means it's harder to hold information in your mind long enough to process it. Also, sleep is when your brain basically declutters. So, chronic sleep deprivation leads to mental fatigue and reduced cognitive function. Getting enough quality sleep is like hitting the reset button for your brain every night.
How can mindfulness improve focus?
Mindfulness is like mental training for your attention muscle. It's basically practicing non judgmental awareness, noticing when your mind wanders, then gently redirecting your attention back to the present moment. Helps build awareness about your own thought patterns and how easily distracted you get, which is huge. Mindfulness also calms the nervous system, reducing stress and anxiety that often hijack your focus. Even just a few minutes of mindful breathing each day can make a noticeable difference in your ability to concentrate.
How does taking breaks help concentration?
Taking breaks is actually a science backed productivity hack. Your brain isn't designed to focus intensely for hours on end, it needs downtime to recharge. Frequent, short breaks help prevent mental fatigue and actually improve your overall focus. The trick is taking breaks that are actually restorative. Step away from screens, move your body, get some fresh air. Even micro breaks, like a 30-second stretch, can. Nice. What's your first favorite question?
How can people train their attention span?
That's a great one. Think of it like exercising a muscle. You have to work it gradually. Start small with things like mindful breathing exercises, focusing on your breath for a few minutes a day. Also, try single tasking instead of multitasking. Choose one thing and really give it your full attention. Another technique is the Pomodoro method. Work and focus 25-minute bursts, then take 5-minute breaks. And really limiting distractions is key. Put your phone away, turn off notifications. over time, your brain will literally get better at sustaining focus.
Thank you very much, Maya, for your helpful insight, and everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next session.